To all of you reading this, thank you for being here, for trusting me with this story, and for letting me share a piece of heartbreak that so many hide behind closed doors. Your attention, your empathy, it means more than words can capture. The front door slammed with a force that shook the pictures on the wall. I had just stepped inside after a long day at work, tired but content at the thought of seeing her smile, of curling up together on the couch. But the sight that met me froze the blood in my veins. She stood in the hallway, her hair tangled, her makeup smudged, a sheen of sweat on her skin. Her eyes, normally warm and teasing, were cold and sharp. I already had a great night tonight. Don't touch me, she spat, her voice cutting through the air like a knife. I paused, trying to steady my heartbeat, trying to catch the right words. Honey, what happened? I asked, stepping closer. She recoiled as if my presence alone was dangerous. Nothing you need to know, she muttered, her words final, like a slammed door. For nights after that, I lay awake in the darkness, replaying the moment over and over. Her words echoed in my mind, each syllable a cruel riddle I couldn't solve. I watched her carefully, analyzing every gesture, every sigh, every late-night text she claimed were from work. There was a tension now between us, a taut wire that hummed with unspoken fears. It started small. A lipstick-stained napkin in the trash that wasn't mine, an unfamiliar scent on her scarf, a phone buzzing insistently on silent mode. Each time, I wanted to confront her, to demand the truth, but a part of me hoped, desperately, that I was seeing shadows where there were none. Denial is a strange, comforting poison. Then came the nights when she stayed out late with colleagues, claiming deadlines and meetings. Yet her laughter and the faint scent of perfume clung to her when she returned. I would lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling a fracture grow inside me. The trust one had built over years seemed to crumble like brittle glass, each piece reflecting my fear and disbelief. One evening, I followed her. I know it sounds desperate, pathetic even, but I needed to see for myself. The sight that greeted me under the dim streetlights shattered something inside me. She was leaning close to someone I didn't know, her laughter warm, intimate, hands brushing, smiles that were never mine to give. My chest tightened, a pain that felt both physical and spiritual. A betrayal so deep it left me gasping. I confronted her the next morning, trying to find calm, trying to find words that wouldn't ignite a war. I know, I whispered, my voice brittle. She froze, eyes widening, then narrowed in anger, defensive, almost incredulous. Know what? Her denial was immediate, practiced, like a line she had rehearsed in secret mirrors. I wanted to scream, to collapse into her arms despite knowing they were not mine to hold. She cried then, tears that smelled faintly of something not sorrow but guilt. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said, voice shaking. I wanted something, someone who listened. The confession was almost casual, almost banal, yet it struck me like lightning. Years of shared life, of whispered promises and plans, reduced to a craving that ignored our bond. I left that morning, the apartment echoing with her apologies, her pleas, her self-justifications. Each step away was heavier than the last, but I couldn't stay in a place where the ground beneath me had turned to sand. The betrayal wasn't just in the act. It was in the secrecy, the deception, the ease with which she erased our years for fleeting warmth elsewhere. Weeks passed. I moved into a small apartment nearby, where the walls weren't cluttered with memories of laughter now turned sour. I replayed every interaction, every casual remark she had made, realizing how carefully she had rewritten our reality, how subtle the cracks had been. The anger, the grief, the hollow ache, they mingled, forming a strange clarity. I ran into her one evening at a cafe. She looked at me, hopeful, like a child seeking forgiveness for a mistake she barely understood the depth of. I didn't speak at first, watching her try to summon warmth, to bridge the canyon she had carved between us. Then I smiled, faintly, coldly. I hope your nights continue to be great, I said, the irony bitter on my tongue. No plea for reconciliation, no lingering questions, just an acknowledgement of the truth we could no longer share. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal itself. It was the realization that love could exist alongside deceit, that the heart could harbor warmth for one person while reaching out for another. I grieved not just for what was lost but for the illusions I had nurtured, for the life we could have had. and for the self I thought I knew. In the months that followed, I began to rebuild. Trust in others felt fragile, cautious, yet I found strength in solitude. I poured myself into work, into friends, into the quiet spaces where reflection was possible. The nights were still long, the memories still sharp, but each day carried a little more light, a little more distance from the pain that had consumed me. Eventually, I stopped noticing the little signs. Perfume lingering on a scarf, the faint hum of laughter from another table. They became echoes, reminders not of betrayal but of survival, of resilience. I realized that the story of US would live in memory, not in presence, and that was enough. Closure wasn't her apology, or my vengeance. It was the recognition that I could continue, whole, unbroken, even when she could not. I sometimes wonder if she remembers that night, the night she came home disheveled and pushed me away. I wonder if she recalls the words, the look in my eyes, the silent heartbreak that followed. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. It no longer matters. What matters is the life I carry forward, the lessons etched into my soul, and the quiet knowledge that love betrayed can still transform into a deeper understanding of oneself. And as I sit here now, watching the sunset bleed into the horizon, I feel it. The ache, yes, still there, but tempered by strength. Life moves forward, as relentless as it is merciless. Betrayal carved a scar, but it also forged a resilience I had never known I possessed. The past is a shadow, the present a careful light, and the future. The future is mine to shape, unshaken by what once broke me.